Gaming Shark, and today I'm going to be doing a different video. Sorry if the horrible lighting back there. I know I don't have very good lighting, but recently been announced, not too recently. Sorry, my birds over there trying to mimic everything I say. That the Xbox X and PS5 are coming out. But there's been a lot of debate because it seems like the newer consoles are having digital versions. And today I want to talk about the Xbox Series X. Since I'm a low channel, if we hit 10 likes on this video, I'll do PS5, which one you should buy. But right now I'm going to do the Xbox Series X, because that's the one I'm interested in right now. I'm most likely going to aim for getting the PS5, but the Xbox Series X, not as much information as the PS5 has been given out on it. But getting right into it, some of the features that both of these consoles are doing is digital and disc versions. So, such as, my bird's here, as like, you get the PS5, or no, so it's Xbox Series X, you can get digital or Blu-ray discs. You could watch movies on there, but as for the Xbox Series X, which is going to be the competition for this video, is going to have like, you're gonna have to download it. But a reason, everyone's probably saying, get the Xbox Series X. It's so much better. Who would want the Xbox Series S? Some people would, but that's not the big group here. But it's price difference. Some people don't want to pay $700, $600 for a console. That's where these new cheaper consoles are coming in, because with the new softwares and stuff they're using, it obviously is expensive. They can't put out these brand new, that's like comparing like an MSI laptop. See, like this MSI laptop with a bird on it, advanced stickers. Yeah, I know. That's like comparing that to Alienware computer. You can't just get the Alienware computers and just sell them for like $300, $500. Those things are literally thousands of dollars. Most of the time they're like $1,500, but you get what I mean. So you can't. Some of the newer softwares, it doesn't go that way, which makes these consoles seem like a savior to some people. But it has so much things that the Xbox Series X can't do, which is why it kind of brings up the, what do you call it, word or a sentence, whatever, the theory, that you should just stick with an Xbox or PS4. I mean, here's the thing. For PS5, I was literally on the PS4 the other day. PS5 games you can get on PS4. The new FNAF Security Breach, you can play that on PS4, PS5, and PC. But we're talking about consoles today. I know technically this is a console, but we're not talking about that. So, really you don't see a difference besides if you kind of like being really immersed in a game or something, or want the newer softwares or something. There's going to be more stuff closer release date. By the way, this is releasing November 10th, so next month. I thought they're going to be released in December, but in time for Black Friday. But probably not too big of deals for Black Friday. I can imagine the biggest thing they're going to do is have you buy a console, and they'll give you like a free game with it or something. I mean, that's pretty much the only thing I really see about the consoles. I mean, can we cut this out? Alright, here's continue now. And yeah, so game-wise, you pretty much only really want those if you want to be more immersed in the game. But if you're just wanting the games, because I know Xbox isn't going to do that. I mean, you'll probably see, well, you know, it seems like Xbox is just getting some of the PS5 games and just getting it on their software. And some of the older games, or just like games for Xbox, like the new Star Wars game came out. They're most likely going to re-release that for Xbox Series X. I can bet. So, I honestly don't see it as too unbelievable they would re-release games for that. So right now, I'm on the side of PS5. But if you really want the Xbox Series X, and you have the money to get the console, but you don't know if you have enough money to get the games, here are some things. I know it's like 5 minutes, you probably don't want to hear all this, but if you're wanting games that you could play and movies to watch, I recommend the Xbox Series X. I have not played it yet. I've only seen videos and stuff of it, but so far you could have digital versions. So if you have a Air on the Xbox Series X, you can easily patch that. Literally just make sure the data's on the disc. You need to get a new console if you want, and you could still play the game. The way I think Xbox Series X is going to resolve this is having not crash as much. Definitely learning from their previous Xbox, and most likely, if not, keeping like data on the disc. I heard something about that, keeping data on the disc, making games load faster, so they won't have to dig through all the code to find your save file. Don't know if that's entirely true. Can you stop trying to fight me? You know that hurts, right? Yeah. You know what, this is why I can't have you out during video. So, with movies, discs, and everything, probably, I mean, unless you're just using it for games, like a lot of people do, they have separate things such as like Roku or whatever, or even watch movies on their laptop or phone. I mean, personally, I watch some when I'm like somewhere else around the house on the iPad, because that's kind of like a phone and a laptop in one. It's just a bigger screen. I have a laptop or iPad mini, and that's what I use to watch movies, videos, sometimes even edit videos. That's most of the time. So if you had to pick a console, you had the money, but once you bought the console, you wouldn't have enough money for the games, I would say get the Xbox Series X and wait on the games. Now, because if you get the console, you have all those features ready to go. The only thing you're missing are the games. How you can get the games. Once you save up some money to get the games, there's so much more you could do with them. I'm just saying, like the Xbox Series S, a lot of people keep saying the digital versions, don't buy them. They're definitely gonna have some crossovers, because how Xbox and PS4, they both do this when games go out, such as Skylanders. I know that's a game that requires you to have the figures, but that is not true. The iPad version, right, just for that, it went out of store. You couldn't get it anymore from the Google Play Store, Apple Store. You couldn't get it. Like, you couldn't re-download the game. I guess you could re-download it, but you definitely couldn't get it again. That's the thing, if you have all digital, you can't just buy the disc and insert it back in with the digital version. You can't look it up and for them not to have it. Unless they are going to be better about this, which I hope they will. Like, I mean, I guess the Xbox Series X is more spaced, like a little smaller. So if you want it, like let's say for my TV stand right here with the camera, right here. You're gonna have in this little cubby right here, you can have the Xbox, all your new consoles right there. And then you're gonna have, you know, TV and stuff. But let's say, what if you want your consoles up here? Right here? Then, what are you gonna do if they're gigantic? I say the Xbox Series X, where that bird seat is, that could easily replace that. Or, if you even want to store stuff on top of it, go ahead, it's the Xbox Series S. So, it seems like storage, space-wise, it also seems like the Xbox Series X is gonna have 1 terabyte of storage, and you could add that with an external drive. That's a bunch of space for games. And plus the whole disc thing going on, I'm saying get the Xbox Series X, stick with that until you get the game. So at least ask for Christmas, maybe, if you like a good Christmas gift. Or if you just want it yourself, or, you know, you want to buy it for yourself, or you live alone or something like that, then you could, Black Friday would probably be a good time. Like I said, last year they had, you get a new Xbox, and you get a game with it. That's pretty much until you can save up more money. Because the newer games, the highest they're probably going to go is $100, unless you're getting some collector's edition bonus content. Like the Miles Morales game, I can't it's most likely going to be below $100. So if you have at least $800, you have enough to get a console and the Miles Morales game, but on Black Friday, you might be able to get a free game. That's 2 new games right there. And you only really have to pay for 1. Like, that's a super good deal. I don't know why the bird on my head. And I'm not really coming to tell you guys about deals here, but just my personal recommendation is the Xbox Series X. But if you don't have a lot of money, or you just don't really want to spend that much on a console, then the Xbox Series X is, or Xbox Series S is most likely going to come with a free game, or like a digital download with the game. You know, the little cards you can get at the store that have the little digital code do it on it. I think Xbox Series X is going to have a lot of differences between the, or Xbox Series S is going to be different between the Xbox. It's not going to crash as much when you download digital games. You could easily get them back. It's going to have no USB ports, I'm pretty sure, which is gonna suck. So far, the Xbox Series X is winning. I just think they made this for people who don't want to spend $700 on a console, and I get that so much. Having to spend like almost $1,000 just for something to run your games. It's like playing, or it's like running or buying $500 for something that just runs discs. Except there, I guess you could say you can like play the movies. You can enjoy it. It's gonna be a pretty much all new experience. Oh my gosh! But the real winner of this whole Xbox Series X and Xbox is the Oculus Quest 2. Yeah, hear me out. Honestly, I want to do a whole video on that because it seems like there's only a few differences with that, and it deserves an answer whether you should buy it or not. And I'm gonna do sequels to these videos where when I get the consoles, like I'm probably gonna get one of them, and then I'll make a video on that. And if I want to, I'll make a video on the other one if we just get the consoles, because I'm right now going for the PS5. But it seems like the Xbox Series X is the better choice if you want an Xbox. And if you want a cheaper Xbox, go for the Xbox S. Because some people are saying, well, if I have Xbox 360, I want to play the newer games, I'm just get an Xbox S. Or the lower one. So, I mean, the original Xbox, just Xbox One, the Xbox One S, that one was pretty much the exact same. I think it still had a disc spot and stuff. But it seems like the Xbox Series S is going to be the same price for the Xbox One, and it's going to be pretty much all digital. But that can be good, because if you have like some kind of cloud or something, or they're almost 100% going to do this where you can store your games. So if you have a separate device or something, like a separate Xbox Series S, you can easily play it on there. That's most likely what they're going to do. The video on that coming soon. And so I guess the Xbox Series S is, I mean, it's a good console, but if you're looking for physical copies of the game, and want some bonus features, go to the Xbox Series X. But that's really all you're paying for, is just those bonus features. So see the Xbox Series S as just the base console, and the Xbox Series X is just a more stacked out version. That'll make you feel like you're just getting it to play the games, which is really what it's for. I mean, sometimes you buy things and you're like, why did I get that? It's just a whole bunch of extra stuff I didn't need. You can see it as that. Therefore, it's still, basically some people have the mindset, get the console, I can play games on it, that's it. Unless you want the physical copies, switching out discs, which I'm lazy, so I guess that's kind of a time saver. But I would rather go up and switch the discs. That's just personal opinion. So things I say here in this video, you could change to your own thing. Like, oh, I'm fine with not changing discs. I'm fine if I have. I mean, these things are going to be newer, so they're not going to crash as much. And when they do, the updates are going to come out. Like they did that completely digital with the Xbox 360 games, how they allowed it to read games on the Xbox X. Xbox One can now read Xbox 360 games. That was entirely digital. So, if an issue ever goes wrong with the Xbox Series X, that's so easy to be repaired. Or not easy, but for their side, with all the people working on it, it's gonna be easy. So if you do get Xbox Series X, don't think, oh, if it crashes, I'm gonna have to get a new one because I won't be able to get onto it if it's broken. There's gonna be at least 3 different ways to power it on, and about 3 different ways to shut it off. So if you ever have a problem, there's always other things to resort to. And if it ever gets to the state where you have to even send it in, if you send it in, there's already going to be people with the exact same problems. And if not, they're probably going to do yours first. So they want to see the problem, resolve it, so maybe they can get a better name. I think that's what some companies do. Or they just want you to play your games. They just want you to represent. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. My personal recommendation is the Xbox Series X. If you want more thing for me to cover or something, or me to do the PS5, subscribe, because it really helps out the channel. Alright, bye.